Well, impeccably observed. 13 seconds as Rugby League sends a strong message out against racism and discrimination. We've gone through the two sides. We'll talk about the referee, Brad Milligan from Workington. 6 previous Oldham games, just 1 for Bradford. And it is going to be one of those former Bradford players, Lewis Charnock, about to get proceedings underway. Bradford will have first use of the ball. This one, round 13 in the Championship. Unlucky for some, they might say. Oldham desperate for the points. 13th in the table in the relegation spots. Just 2 wins all season, but they have come here at home against Swinton and Halifax, and they'll be looking for a big scalp here against the Bradford Bulls this afternoon as Charnock gives it down to Keys. Keys to Crossley, and that is the first tackle this afternoon. And a sellout crowd of 800 inside Bowerfold here to see this one. Bradford will be looking to continue the good work they put in that 30-16 win against Batley last week at Odsal Stadium. For Oldham, a bit of soul searching. The departure of Matt Diskin, Brian McDermott's come in. They'll be looking for a strong, fast start here. And as we see, Bradford just moving the ball down the middle here. They're 15 shy of halfway. A good set of 6 here. And that's good defence from Oldham. Keys, defogging Johnson, juggles the ball. Kept in flight there by Aaron Murphy. Harlan Globetrotter stuff here from the Bulls as Aaron Murphy is brought down 20 metres out from the Oldham line. It's the 5th and last tackle. Keys looks inside for Pickersgill. Pickersgill, can he regather the ball? No, he can't. That was a huge play there from Dan Abram. Put his body on the line there, John. But what an exciting start to this game. Bradford, showing a bit of expanse on the ball.
Well, yeah, the fantastic play there off the cuff there by Bradford. Poor kick by Keys, charged down, but there you go, Bradford. When they go up potato, then they went up potato. Some great passing, get to the line. Unlucky, Dan Abram saved Oldham there on the line, and now Oldham are fetching the ball out from their own 30.
Oldham on that last tackle. Lewis Charnock, boot to ball. That one's going to hold up in the in-goal area. Pickersgill from his own try line. As we mentioned, Lewis Charnock, 2nd year at Oldham. The former St Helens Barrow Bradford half. He had a loan spell at the Bradford Bulls under Rowan Smith back in 2016. He really is making Oldham his home here in 2021 as Joe Brown will play the ball just outside the 20-metre line. Early moments in this game here this afternoon. We'll try our best to keep you up to date with action elsewhere in the Championship and League One as Dan Fleming is rolled over. Really lively, energetic defence at the start of this game here from Oldham, and that will please new head coach and consultant Brian McDermott. Doyle now to Keys, last tackle for the Bulls, a high hanging kick. That one is going to put a bit of pressure there on the Oldham winger, and that's the first error as Joe Hartley loses the ball under that Joe Keys kick. And Bradford have a repeat set of 6 here as it goes to Keys to Pickersgill. Out wide, defogging Johnson. He will stroll in past that Oldham defence out wide. Bradford open the scoring. 3 minutes gone here, John. It's Oldham 0, Bradford 4.
Yeah, what a kick there by Keys. There was 2 players on the Oldham side, Hartley and Abram, both looking at it, thinking, what do I do here? How do I get hold of that ball? They didn't get hold of it. The ball goes to Bradford. They're in the middle of the field. Pickersgill comes into the line, long ball out on the left-hand side here, and defogging Johnson goes over. Fantastic play, great try, and I'm sure John Keir will be very pleased with that start.
And of course, from a Bradford perspective, John said Oldham are going to be here. It is going to be an ambush of sorts, and for Bradford to cross early, John, that will do Bradford's confidence the world of good.
It certainly will, and that's probably what they needed as well. But Oldham, to be truthful, in the first couple of sets, they've tackled really well. They've got numbers in. They've controlled the ruck, and just unfortunately, they've got to the back end of the set, of the Bradford set, and they couldn't field the kick. If they'd have fielded the kick, they'd have had a great start to the game. But unfortunately, it's not happened.
Joe Keys will attempt the conversion attempt. 5 from 6 last week in that 30-16 win over Batley, and Joe Keys has arrived here at Staley Bridge, Oldham's new home for 2021. And he has got the radar kicked on, turned on, and Bradford lead by 6 points to 0. And it's all going to be now, John, about this reaction in that defensive set with Bradford having the ball back on the restart.
This is the test now. This is the test. Will Bradford build a lead? Will they get the composure and start to strike and put some points on? Or will Oldham be able to steady the ship and get themselves back into this game? As I say, they started really well in defence. It just didn't. They just couldn't obviously get all of that ball from the kick.
Lewis Charnock back there then with the restart. Bradford leading here inside the opening 5 minutes by 6 points to 0 here this afternoon. It's Mick Gledall, former Oldham, Warrington, Great Britain international John Fieldhouse, and the referee has seen something there and he will stop the clock. Liam Kirk, one of the former Bradford players in this Oldham side, is down, requiring a little bit of attention for a head knock there. So we'll just be able to take stock of proceedings here. Not the start Brian McDermott and Brendan Sheridan would have wanted from an Oldham perspective. But now, John, you can't let your heads go down. And we have seen that a little bit with Oldham this year. The heads do drop after those early tries conceded. Yeah,
absolutely, Mick. And, it's all about the mentality and your own personal pride. You've got to hang on in there. As I say, Bradford, in paper, the better team. Everybody knows that, and everybody expects Bradford to come here and win. But, the mentality and your own thoughts on the game as a player playing for Oldham, you must stop that. You must stop that wave of tries and points being collated. And I just think that if they can dig in there for the next 10 minutes, that possibly could happen. So let's hope they do.
Well, Liam Kirk will leave the field. The Oldham doctor has come on and says Liam Kirk is going to need a bit of strapping around a bit of a cut on the forehead there. So he will go down the tunnel. Hopefully nothing too serious for the former Bradford man, Liam Kirk. He made 85 appearances for Bradford in his 6 seasons at the club. But this is a much better defensive set here from Oldham. They've got Bradford pinned inside their own 20-metre line with a couple of tackles remaining, and that is where they'll be looking to hold proceedings. Defogging Johnson, who scored the try for Bradford, that was try number 3 of the season. He's missed the last 2 games. On his 16th appearance, he now has 8 tries. So he's scoring a try every other game, and that will please head coach John Keir. So Liam Kirk, he's having some strapping applied down the tunnel. Defogging Johnson's got the strapping applied to the forehead. We're back underway here. Bradford coming down the slope here in this first half, and Oldham have just conceded a 6 again there. Just halting Ben Evans, getting a quick play of the ball, and it's on moments like that what Brian McDermott will get a little bit filthy about, John.
Yeah, the big Bradford forwards are taking control. Evans there in the middle with Crossley and Dan Fleming. They're really, really taking it to the Oldham pack.
So 5 minutes gone here on the Our League app this afternoon. A championship treat. 13th against 3rd. Bradford looking to build on that win against Batley. Oldham trying to resurrect and breathe life into their season here. 10 rounds to go. Doyle to Keys. Line ball there to Murphy. Murphy bounces off one, wrapped up by Charnock. Bradford on the 5th and last tackle here. This is still on the restart, remember, because Oldham conceded that 6 again. Another aerial bombardment from Keys. Crossfield kick. Taken out of the air by Brown, but Brown's run's halted, and that's good defence there from Oldham, and that will give them a huge boost and a dose of confidence there. They didn't want to concede back-to-back tries, and it was that Wigan Academy junior player, Max Roberts, who came in as the second man and halted Joe Brown's run, as Oldham now will move it out of dummy half with Dan Abram. 2 tries this term. He will be a pivotal figure for Oldham and Brian McDermott this afternoon, as we see Oldham just happy to go down the middle. And now Bradford have conceded the 6 again. So a 6 again conceded apiece here as Gareth Owen out of dummy half gives it to Langtree. Langtree's had the ball stolen by Ben Evans, and Ben Evans did that last week against Bartley. And now Ben Evans has lost the ball, but Oldham are going to concede the penalty because Dan Abram was the second man in there. And they've got a decision to make here, Bradford. Do they go for the 2 points or do they apply the pressure? John Keir says, we're not going to go for 2, we're going to go for touch. and go down the slope. But John, very nearly Oldham stealing the ball back.
Yeah,
it was almost like lending your mate £5 in the pub on a Sunday night.
Game of pickpocket, Mick. Yeah, it was. Tyler Dupree. He pinched the ball and then and got it pinched back off him. So
we'll see what Bradford do here as Rhys Evans, the former Leeds Lee Warrington man, wrapped up 10 metres out. Doyle. Here it goes with Steve Crossley. Steve Crossley rolled over 5 metres out from that Oldham try line. Bradford leading by 6 points to 0. Doyle to Keys to Pickersgill. Defogging Johnson has a double in at the corner, but the referee gets the call from the touch judge. Pickersgill's pass has gone forward. Correct decision. 6-0 it remains. And it might just be a little bit of a warning sign that Bradford are going to go down this left-hand edge, Warrington's right defensive edge. But on that occasion, the fluency was there. It was just all about the composition, and unfortunately, it went forward.
Yeah, I was watching Bradford warm up, Mick, and everything was about Pickersgill coming into the line on this left channel and obviously targeting Ince and Hartley on this side here. And they picked that twice and scored once. So you can expect that to be carrying on in the next 10-15 minutes.
Oldham now inside the Bradford half, looking very lively here as we see Sean Pick, the former Huddersfield Giants and Toronto Wolfpack man. He's reacquainted with Brian McDermott as Charnock now goes on a run. This is the best attacking field position that Oldham have had. We've had just shy of 10 minutes gone here. They're 20 metres out from the Bradford line. Crossfield kick here. That is going to put the winger under pressure, but Joe Brown does exceptionally well there. And he had to do there. James Barron, one of the young players on loan, not on loan, but here from the Wigan Academy here. And that was a great kick, great take. Bradford still leading by 6 points to 0, but Oldham have turned Bradford around as Defogging Johnson now out of dummy half break. Look at this, swarming red and white hooped Oldham defenders as Bradford just look for a little bit of momentum down the middle here. Rhys Hamlet back out there over on the far stand side, so Defogging Johnson as well. All change on the wingers this afternoon for John Keir. Doyle, Keys, just outside the 40-metre line there. That one's going to come down. A tricky one for Joe Hartley. Hartley takes that one with confidence. Yeah. And Oldham now, John, they're going to, you know what, we talk about confidence takes. They'll be growing in confidence.
Yeah, well, Joe took that one. Luckily for Oldham, he didn't take the first one, but he certainly learned the lesson. And now Oldham have got good field position. And on the second tackle or third tackle now coming, they're in the Bradford half and looking threatening.
So just over 10 minutes gone, 6-0, that early try from David Fogging Johnson. The difference here between these two sides as the game gets a little bit attritional and arm wrestler. Last tackle here, Charnock. Pressure here with Ince. Ince chasing that kick. Ince takes it, can't offload the ball. And Ryan Ince, well, he crept up right behind Defogging Johnson there. And Brandon Pickersgill. Great defence though in the end from Keys and Aaron Murphy. And that's another good key indicator for Oldham, John. Yeah,
and Brian McDermott will be very happy with that. He'll be keen, obviously, to keep Bradford in their own 20, and that'll be the part of the game plan. And now Bradford have dropped it, so here goes Oldham, massive chance, 15 metres from the try line.
Yeah, Bradford just coming up with the error there at dummy half, their third error of this first half. That won't be pleasing John Keir. Those are key indicators. Albeit one of the errors was, of course, that forward pass, but they've given Oldham a sniff of a chance here as Gareth Owen gives it to Luke Nelms, third season here at Oldham, his 40th appearance this afternoon. Across the face of the post it goes with Charnock. Charnock now to Pick. Sean Pick wrapped up 2 metres out there from the line. Gareth Owen scoops it up again, goes to Charnock. Barron now drops the shoulder, can't get past England. And Evans, the two Bradford defenders. Abram to Langtree. Danny Langtree wrapped up there on tackle number 4. There's still 10 metres or so out from that Bradford try line as they go down the middle here with Martin Riley. Martin Riley offload the ball behind him. He's adjudged to have come up with the error there. Bradford keep their line intact.
Yeah, I don't think Brian McDermott will be happy with that set, Mick, because They just went to left to right, right to left, and they didn't actually any go where Bradford are playing the ball now 10 metres off their own line. Oldham started 15 metres off the line, so they made territory of 5 metres and went just across the field. There was a massive opportunity of Dan Abram coming out the back on the right-hand side here. There was a 3v2, but they didn't take the chance. Dougie Chartnook stuck hold of the ball.
When you look at Oldham, John, just 2 wins all season. Both of those wins coming here at Bowerfold early in the season with that round 1 and round 4 wins over Swinton and, of course, Halifax. What does it do to the players, when you come into a game like this, you're on the back of a 7 straight defeat and confidence is low? Yeah,
you can get demoralised from these things. You think everything's against you. You think things are going against you. The referee's going against you. The crowd's going against you. Everybody's after you. And sometimes you just get a little bit downbeaten with it. But you've not to allow that to take precedence on you. You've got to stay positive. You've got to stay that you are going to make an impact personally and in the game, but also do your job for the team.
Bradford have just been awarded their second penalty. Ben Evans was denied the chance to play the ball correctly, and Bradford now attacking inside that Oldham half. Keys to Pickersgill. Pickersgill, good defence though from Charnock. Pickersgill wrapped up just to the left hand side of the post. Oakes in there at dummy half. Keys looks for those runners, finds one in Dan Fleming, the Welsh international. He's had the ball stolen there. That's 1-on-1 for mine. Brad Milligan, the referee, is going to say the tackle completed, and it will be a play the ball here for the Bradford Bulls. 10 metres out now, looking for their second try of the first half here. We've had 14 minutes gone as Doyle pinches one out of dummy half, but Gareth Owen, alert to the danger there of Tom Doyle and those destructive runs out of dummy half. Bradford on the last tackle. Keys takes the line on, and Joe Keys has got the ball down. A fantastic try from the Bradford Bulls. Joe Keys, that dexterity there, the agility to beat 4 Oldham defenders, and Bradford double their lead by 10 points to 0.
Yeah, good try there by Joe Keys, individual try. But actually, Mick, I was saying that I was looking at the player then and I was thinking Bradford have missed a trick. They actually had 4v3 on the right-hand side, but Joe Keys, very smart, double step, off his left foot, and then he just dove for the ball, put the ball down to the side of his body and smartly put the ball over the line. Great try with Bradford, and as I say, they're just picking the Oldham defence off now, and that's the problem. Once they start to build points, Oldham are really going to be under pressure.
Joe Keys' first try since his return to the club from Hull Kingston Rovers, and in his 62nd appearance for the Red, Amber and Black, he now has 25 tries for the Bradford Bulls. As we said, the Irish international, 1 from 1 thus far. He was 5 from 6 last week. You talk about Danny Brough kicking in the high 90s. Joe Keys, equally as formidable with the boot to ball and the conversion rate of 84%, and this one goes between the posts. On the Hour League app with Mick Gledhill and John Fieldhouse this afternoon at Bowerfold. 15 minutes gone in this one. Oldham 0, Bradford Bulls 12 after those early tries from D. Fogging Johnson and then Joe Keys. Oldham will be a little bit disappointed, John, with the ease that Joe Keys was allowed to go past that static defence.
No lock up on the inside, mate. You've got to come off your line. You've got to obviously come together, and the A defenders never came forward. So you've got to step forward. As soon as Joe steps, he should have stepped into a defender. He didn't. He stepped into space, scored a smart try.
Bradford on the restart here with Crossley on tackle number 1. As we said, John Keir just making the 3 changes this afternoon. Reece Hamlet, D. Fogging Johnson on the wings. Evan Skerr back after his COVID-19 isolation was complete. Jordan Lilly, of course, out for the next 4 to 6 weeks. Never rains. It always pours in the injury stakes, but Bradford will look to use that adversity this afternoon here against Oldham. Bradford are going down this slight slope here in this first half. Crossley on the last tackle. Doyle to Keys. Hartley might let this one go out on the full, which he will do. And that's another error there from the Bradford Bulls. Joe Keys holds his hand up, but that is going to give Oldham a fresh set of 6, a full set of 6 inside the Bradford half.
Great kick pressure there, mate, by Liam Bent. he got out from the marker position and put pressure on Joe, and Joe obviously put that well over the try line. So, you know, fair play to him, and also giving a good field position now for Oldham to attack.
Martin Riley takes the first tackle on this set of 6 here for Oldham. Owen out a dummy half. Here goes Liam Bent, the former Wigan and Salford Red Devils player, wrapped up 30 metres out, centre field position. Oldham, they've got Bradford back in that arm wrestle here as it goes to Ince. Ince brought down there by Crossley and Fleming. Adam Rooks also involved in that tackle, and Bradford have conceded a 6 again here. The referee saying that Adam Rooks was offside at the ruck, so he's given the 6 again. So more pressure here for Oldham. The Oldham fans getting behind their side, but no sooner have Oldham been given the 6 again, Liam Bent loses the ball in good field position, John.
Yeah, and what was disappointing on that, you've got a repeat set there, mate, but what happened with Oldham is they allowed Liam Bent to go on his own, running into 3 defenders just on a short ball, and he had no control. He had no control at all. Bradford just swarmed him up, and obviously the ball comes out in the tackle. We need some push. Oldham have to push around the play the ball, just like Bradford are doing now.
Aaron Murphy offloads the ball behind him to Evans. Fast approaching the midway point in this first half here. John Kay will be delighted with the 12 points to 0 on the scoreboard. Perhaps not so much regarding the cohesion with a couple of errors and the 6 against, but Bradford are going down the slope in the first half, and that's a good offload from Evans to Doyle, and Doyle's brought down on that 5th and last tackle 20 metres out. They're immediately probing and looking for Joe Keys. Joe Keys, a lovely little reverse kick now, looking for Oakes. Great take there by Barron. Barron pushed over the try line. In fact, it's Hartley, I beg your pardon.
Yeah,
and we'll
outstanding kick, make that. Fantastic kick. Yeah, outstanding. You know, it was pinpoint right into the corner, but not only was it pinpoint into the corner, it was half a metre in front of the try line, just where you want it.
Well, this is the 12th meeting this afternoon between the two sides since Bradford were relegated from the Super League back in 2014. Oldham just one win in that time, and that came here at Bowerfold back in 2017 when a late Scott Leverbarrow try broke Bradford hearts in a thrilling 26-22 win. Bradford did win here last time out in 2020 before the season was curtailed due to COVID-19 by 26 points to 12. And for those Bradford fans watching this one, you might remember it was 24-0 at half-time before Oldham staged that second half comeback. And Bradford, just like they did last time here, going down the slope in the first half. Here goes Keys. Now to Pickersgill. Pickersgill puts the fend in towards the line. That's been dealt with by Ince. And that is a try-saving play there by Ryan Ince, because he disrupted that pass from Pickersgill, who was looking for Ross Oakes. Ince has palmed it back, taken the tackle in the in-goal area. It's another goal line dropout. The third repeat set of 6 on the bounce for the Bulls. But Oldham showing a lot of fight.
They're showing fight, Mick, but pressure. That's all Bradford are doing. And also the same play on the left-hand side again. Pickersgill coming out the back and looking for that 3v2. Great play, smart play.
How good's the Oldham defence here as Dan Fleming charges the ball in from the halfway line, carries it up to nearly 20 metres out. And here goes Evans down the middle. And they haven't brought Ant Walker or Eben Skur on yet. Here goes Joe Keys now to Rooks. Rooks has a tilt. Couple of metres out from the Oldham line. Doyle in there at dummy half to Fleming, along the line to Brown. Brown, bullet pass to Pickersgill. Pickersgill will cross. Brandon Pickersgill put the fend in. The gap opened up. Bradford have their third try of the afternoon here. We've had 20 minutes gone. They've further extended their lead. Brandon Pickersgill, he's not scored for a couple of rounds. His last try was in the 33-8 win over London. He has 5 tries for the season, 16-0.
Yeah, fantastic play again there, out the back there, and Pickersgill's just picking his spot. He's just coming into the line when required, and it just pressure, and it's points at the moment for Bradford.
What do you think the message is going to be from Brian McDermott coming on the field here? Because if Brian McDermott didn't realise perhaps the challenge of the task, and we know there's still a long way to go in this one, he must be a little bit concerned with the ease in which Bradford are crossing the Oldham line.
Yeah, the moment, Mick, they're winning the rope, Bradford. They're winning the middle of the field, and they're winning the floor. You know, every time the forwards, whether it's a drop off or just a straight push play in the middle of the field, they're winning the floor. The markers are not getting set. They've not got no line speed, so they're not able to stop that attack or that wave of an attack. They're setting up the players, and when they set up the players, Joe Keys and obviously Pickersgill out the back, it's just like playing fantasy football for them. They're enjoying the day.
Joe Keys then will look to maintain his 100% record here this afternoon. That one goes again between the posts. Pilots between the posts and the black dot. And this afternoon in this round 13 Betfred Championship fixture, Mick Leddell, John Fieldhouse, it is Oldham 0, Bradford 18. And it will be Lewis Charnock who will get the restart back underway.
I think Oldham have got to score next now, Mick, because if they don't, I think they're in for a long afternoon.
Well, this game here, John, I'm not sure if you were here 2 years ago at the same stage when Bradford played Oldham. It was 26-12, but it's got a very similar feel to last time out. Bradford going down the slope in the first half, building up a very strong lead before that Oldham fight back. But I tend to agree, Oldham, Brian McDermott, Brendan Sheridan, they'll be hoping that they can get some points on the board before half-time, of which we've got 16 minutes left. Yeah,
it's either get some points on the board or stick at what they've got, sticking them getting to the sheds at 18-0, because if Bradford score again, this is just going to turn a bit ugly.
Pickersgill up to halfway. Now it goes with Evans. Tackle number 4 gone for Bradford. They're on the restart, leading by 18 points to 0 here. Doyle out of dummy half to Keys. Crossley puts a big fend in there on the Oldham defender, Danny Bridge.
Yeah, just winning that floor, Mick, again. You know, just gone straight down the middle and a good kick again.
Keys looking for Brown, finds Brown. Brown wrapped up, ball's popped out. Referee says knock on from Joe Brown. Brad England was hunting just like he did last week against Batley, where he got a try in a similar circumstance, but the referee will adjudge the pass from Brown has gone forward, and Bradford turned the ball over 10 metres out from that Oldham line.
Yeah, and Oldham are just not getting any ball, you know, to play with. So everything they do in this first 28, 29 minutes now is just about being dogged, about getting out your own half, and that demoralises you. You're thinking, well, I've been in this game, we've not even got anywhere near the try line at the moment. You know, I want to get an opportunity to you know, put a bit of play on in. Here we go.
There's a chance here now for Oldham over on that main stand side. A lovely run there from Ben Holcroft, and Ben Holcroft has got Oldham inside the Bradford half. Is that the spark? Is that the catalyst here that gets Oldham back in this game, as Tyler Dupree, the former Dewsbury man, brought down there outside. The kick comes in out of dummy half. A little bit too much there from Jamie Abram. And it's just those small 1%ers, John. There was no real need for that, I feel.
No, because you've just given a 7-tackle set away now to Bradford, and, you know, that's glory days to them. We just needed to stay in that 10. So if you weren't scoring, you turn the ball over in the 10, and then you ask some questions to Bradford, because they're blowing a little bit as well in the middle now.
Bradford back in possession then, that 7-tackle set. After Jamie Abram, the younger brother of Dan Abram, just 20 years old. Perhaps a little bit of inexperience there, as Eben Skur has just put a big fend in as John Keir rotates the interchange bench, and Doyle goes out of dummy half. Bradford 20 metres out from the Oldham line. Tackles remaining in this set of 6 as Pickersgill now.
Another set, Mick, though.
Yeah, set restart given again. Third one that Oldham have conceded in this first half, and Bradford looking for try number 4 here. Evans halted underneath the post. It goes to Keys. Here it goes now with Murphy, the former Wakefield Huddersfield man, rolled over. Good defence though from Oldham. They're scrambling. There's certainly a lot of fight here as Rooks out of dummy half now. To Keys, centre field, down the middle with Crossley. 2 tackles remaining in this set of 6. The posts are shaking. Oldham backed up on their own try line. Keys takes the line on, and Joe Keys will make that look easy because he has just danced and skip past the Oldham defence there. It's his second try of the afternoon. Bradford have a fourth, and it's Oldham 0, Bradford 22.
Yeah, just too good, Bradford balls there. They set the play up. They've got everything in place. Joe Keys on that right edge. He had enough men outside of him to obviously pass the ball and still score the try, but he just showed the ball. Smart play, just come off his outside foot and dove through again. You know, it's building, but also, as you've just said about John Kay changing his middles have come on now, and they're going even faster down the middle with that energy, and they're winning the floor every time, every play of the ball. Another repeat set, and on the back of that, you get points.
Joe Keys will attempt the conversion attempt. 27 minutes gone here at Bowerfold, 22 points to 0. As I said earlier, a couple of years ago, back in 2020, before the season was curtailed due to COVID-19, Bradford in a very similar position, leading by 24-0 at half-time. Before that, Oldham fight back. So Joe Keys could be a crucial 2 points if Oldham do start the fight back. Oldham 0, Bradford 24, Joe Keys. He has 2 tries and he scored 16 points of Bradford's. 18 points Joe Keys has got now of Bradford's 24. I'll tell you what, John, Oldham, you know, when you look at this Bowerfold ground, how much of an advantage do you think? Because it's not a Mount Pleasant-esque slope, but it clearly does slope. I think it's 10 foot from try line to try line.
12 points. I've said 12 points, worth 12 points. I think Oldham could score a couple of tries in the second half with that advantage. But at this moment in time, they're not even getting anywhere near. And when they do, they're giving the ball away.
Yeah, Brian McDermott will certainly look to readdress and make some changes at half-time, you feel. Certainly when you're talking about that control, the ball control, you're not going to have any control on the game, giving away 6 agains and penalties. Bradford on the restart here, 24 points to 0. Doyle, Ebensker back out there. Just 5 ever-presents remain here for the Bradford Bulls now with Pickersgill, Rhys Evans, Joe Brown, Ross Oakes and Steve Crossley. They're the only players that have played in every single game this year. Oldham have 3 ever-presents in 2021, and Bradford, the 20 metres in from this main stand side, 40 metres out. Keys boots a ball. Dan Abram does well, and Dan Abram offloads the ball. The tackle not complete there, and that might be a little bit of a spark here for Oldham as we approach half-time here at Bowerfold.
Yeah, I think we just need to get a field position now where they can probably build some pressure, whether they can put into a pocket or even just chip it over. So if they can find that space between the line and the fullback, Pickersgill, and maybe try and go down that route to try and get some points before half-time.
Oldham win a penalty here. Bradford offside. Tyler Dupree wants to take the quick tap penalty. Referee Brad Milligan is going to say, you've got to wait for me to award the penalty and the point. So 2 penalties apiece now, and this is going to get Oldham, give them good field position. And is this the moment where we see some of that good ball control? Oh my word. Well, they've lost the ball here. Bradford have picked it up. The referee's going to say a penalty.
Shoulder charge, mate.
Danny Langtree really threw himself in the tackle, but the Bradford player, I'm not quite sure who it was. Was it Brad England? That was a huge crunching hit there.
It was good tussle between the two. Yeah, I don't know whether he's give a shoulder charge, or actually a high tackle. He's not signalled it. But anyway, Oldham chance, opportunity to build a bit of pressure.
I was just building it up to a crescendo there, and the ball come loose in the tackle. But the referee said there was a penalty against the Bradford Bulls. Langtree plays the ball here. Lovely movement now here with Luke Nelms. Nelms wrestled by Sker, Crossley and England. Out of dummy half they're going to go. Over on this right-hand side here with Dan Abram. Abram's lost the ball. And when we talk about ball control, composure, Brian McDermott will be a little bit filthy with that, John.
Yeah, absolutely, because just like Pickersgill's come out the back for Bradford, and he's made the plays, he scored a try, and he's obviously made a try. Dan Abram had the opportunity to end because he had 3 against the 2 as he came out of the back. But when you don't catch the ball, that opportunity goes.
Well, Chris Hamilton, the Oldham chairman, who we heard before the game, he says it was a tough decision to make on removing head coach Matt Diskin and moving forward with Brian McDermott, and Brendan Sheridan gives the club the best chance of avoiding that trapdoor from the Championship into League One. And certainly on this first half showing, Oldham, they've got a lot of work to do here, as Ant Walker does well. His first carry in the game here this afternoon, offloads the ball behind him after sucking in those 2 Oldham would-be defenders.
Yeah, I think at half time, I think Brian McDermott needs to tell the Oldham forwards, you have to lock on the ball. They're not locking on the ball, so Bradford are now looking to offload every tackle. They're looking for the quick play the ball every tackle, which is, that's the game. But if Oldham forwards can lock on the ball and control the tackle and the offloads, then they may stay in this game.
Well, Oldham awarded their 4th penalty of the afternoon, their 3rd in quick succession. That was from Bradford's last tackle play. And Dan Abram has caught another one above the shoulders. And John Keir, if he's going to find any fault in this first half performance from the Bulls, might be just on the discipline front. Oldham a fresh set of 6 now, inside the Bradford half once again. Barron. Lovely take there from Dupree. Good meters after contact. What can the Bradford Bulls do here? Bradford have conceded another 6 again. So that's 3 6-agains apiece here in this first half. And Oldham, they'll fancy the chances here as it goes with Luke Nelms. They just need to keep hold of the ball here, Oldham, and play what they see. Try not to force the pass too much as it goes now with Barron.
I was just going to say there's no fullback because he's not in position there. But
well, Bradford have lost the ball. Oldham have lost it first. First error there against Danny Bridge for the Oldham side.
Another missed opportunity, Mick, because Pickersgill was actually around the rope on the left-hand side. Oldham had clear play on the right. They had opportunity to put a kick through and in clear space behind the line, and that opportunity went with another knock-on.
Well, we're fast approaching half-time here as George Flanagan has come on the field, and that will speed up the ruck here for the Bradford Bulls. George certainly likes to play out of the ruck, and here it goes down the middle with Ant Walker, the former St Helens and Wakefield front row forward, having a fine season here. John Keir has rejuvenated life into his rugby league career, and Ant Walker is keen to repay that faith. As Bradford now, a couple of tackles remaining here with Joe Brown, who'll play the ball 40 metres out. Flanagan to Keys. Eben Skur down the middle, sucks in the Oldham defence, finds the offload, out the back door to Keys. Keys taking on that Oldham defensive line.
Got to stop them offloads, mate.
Killer offload there, and Bradford on that last tackle now, 20 metres out. Pickersgill kicks over the top, looking for Reece Hamlet. Oldham have come up with another error, and the referee is going to give Bradford head and feed here. And Oldham, that's their 8th error in this first half, John. Completion rate below 60%.
Yeah, but when you say, when we said earlier, how do you turn it round when everything's going against you? That went against Oldham. It was a wicked bounce. Dan Abram, 5'6"? What's he got to do? The ball went up about 6'6". He couldn't do anything.
Bradford then, another set of 6 here. They're over the line here, the Bradford Bulls, but they're held up and will go back to the 10-metre line. So they're certainly scrambling on that goal line. George Flanagan wrestled over on his back. Bradford leading by 24 points to 0 here as we approach half-time at the end of this first half. Joe Keys now to Ant Walker. 2 tries for Ant Walker this season. He's laid the groundwork. Here comes the frame. It comes from Eben Skur. Offloading the ball. Back to Pickersgill. Pickersgill gives the ball now to Skur. Skur wrapped up, 8 metres out now. Flanagan will head down, surging towards the line, and George Flanagan has lost the ball over the Oldham line. The try will not count here, and I tell you something, Oldham have tapped the ball and there's no one at home. This could be sensational stuff here from Oldham, because Oldham have now lost the ball, and it's Jamie Abram. It's a comedy of errors here at Bower Fold. Jamie Abram, John, if he just shows a bit more composure and takes that tackle. Oldham are playing the ball 30 metres out on a 7-tackle set. As it is, they've just gone 70 metres up the field, and poor Jamie Abram, the younger brother of Dan Abram, the Oldham fullback, he's just come up with an error there.
Yeah.
A cruel game, rugby league.
That's what I say, and obviously I just on about it before about his brother Jamie. His brother Dan. With the wicked bounce, he didn't stand a chance. The ball went about 6'6" in the air. He's 5'6". He's not got a chance. And then Jamie, clear run. He just wants to go down and play the ball, and then the ball pops out. Great defence though by Bradford. Scramble defence was outstanding.
Bradford back in possession here at the end of this first half as it goes wide towards England. The former Doncaster and Castleford Tigers man, he straightens up. They're calling for the ball on this left-hand side with Joe Keys. Here it comes. Is this a planned move from the Bulls? No, it's not. It's just straight there with Ross. Ross Oakes calling for it, and Ross Oakes actually playing on this wing position here with Defogging Johnson currently off the field. So Defogging Johnson not able to continue. Bradford awarded a penalty in front of the post, and I think they're going to go for the 2 points here, which will take them out to a 5-score lead. Yeah,
absolutely, and that's the way to do it. Build a lead, build a good points, points total in the first half. I've noticed as well what Bradford are starting to do there, playing smart. They were going one man down the middle with push support either side. Now they're playing it off the halfback, so they're going +1. So they're making the Oldham defence move laterally as well as come forwards and backs. So they're actually catching them on all aspects. It's smart play, and when you've got smart players that act in halfback and smart halfbacks, you can do that. It's fantastic, and as I said, they built a very good lead, and they're just looking, as they are, championship contenders.
Joe Keys then at the end of this first half could be crucial come the end scheme of things. This to add another 2 points to Bradford's total this afternoon, which Joe Keys successfully does from in front of the Oldham post. And here at Bowerfold this afternoon in the Betfred Championship fixture, it is Oldham 0, Bradford 26. And I tell you one thing that's a bit concerning from an Oldham point of view is the amount of time they are allowing players like Brandon Pickersgill and Joe Keys with ball in hand, allowing them the movement, to get the forwards and the positioning right.
Yeah, as I say, Brian McDermott, I think he'll be obviously by the contact at half-time, telling them that, we need to stop the ball movement. But you can only stop the ball movement by latching onto the ball. You don't stop the movement by just grabbing the player and trying to hold the player. That player's still getting the ball away, and when he gets the ball away, it's second phase, and that's what's hurting Oldham.
Well, Bradford have come up with an error on the restart. It is the zero tackle here, no advantage played, and it will be Brad England who's come up with the error for the Bradford Bulls. So George Flanagan holds his hand up. I'm not sure why George is apologising. It was Brad England with the error. And Oldham, late on in this first half now, they've got a chance in front of the Bradford post because they're going to decide to play the ball in a centre field position. So is this going to give them a little bit of spark of confidence going into the second half? Well, they've given away another penalty here of the Bradford Bulls, and the referee points at Tom Doyle and says Tom Doyle has gone in with the shoulder, and the referee will stop the clock here, and the Oldham player down on his back in front of the post. So he just wants a little word here with Tom Doyle, does Brad Milligan, and he's just pointing the finger there, and he's just said, just watch your tackling technique.
Yeah, it could, this could be a 10-minute in the bin, but it's not looking like that at this moment in time. But it could be. You never know. It would help. It certainly would help Oldham.
Well, Oldham doesn't get any easier for them. They've got the week off next week, as of Bradford, because of the 1895 final at Wembley between York and Featherstone, and of course the Challenge Cup final between Castleford and St Helens. But Bradford, well, both, I'm just looking at the fixtures for both sides coming up, John. Oldham have that tough trip, which is always a tough trip, up against Whitehaven at the recreation ground in Cumbria. Bradford hosting Featherstone at Odsall in that mouth-watering round 14 game. But
yeah, the game against Whitehaven, that's my old mucker, Gary Charlton. Obviously he was one of my assistants at Barlow when we went on tours to Australia and South Pacific, and you know, he's a great coach. He knows his stuff, and he's got them purring at the moment. A great victory against was it York last week?
It was absolutely fantastic. I tell you what, real surprise package all of a sudden. Liam Kirk back out there on the field, so Tyler Dupree, who took the shoulder charge from Tom Doyle, he hasn't passed the HIA, so he has to go off for 10 minutes. That will take him into the second half. The hooter sounds, Oldham go surging on that left-hand side, and it's Max Roberts who's halted 5 metres out from that Bradford try line, so the hooter caught everybody by surprise there. It was right at the end of this first half. The Bradford supporters beat the drum. They're cheering behind the posts to our right. It is 26 points to 0, and it's a first half performance that has been really built on good attacking fluency between Joe Brown and Joe Keys, the two Bradford halves for this fixture this afternoon. For Oldham, well, I'm trying to work out the percentage, the completion rate, John, but they've come up with 9 errors, and it's got to be around 60%. That's not good enough against a side like Bradford, unfortunately.
I don't think it would be that much, Mick. I would say more around the 50%. I would say, is it saying that? Yeah. I'll just say at the moment, you know, it's totally not good enough. Brian will know that. The players know that. But when you look at it, the way Bradford are playing, they're playing outstanding. They scored some cracking tries, and obviously the foundation's been led by the forwards. The forwards have been superb.
What needs to change in this second half? Because this is a real test now for Brian McDermott, Brendan Sheridan, of what they've got, the tools that they've got to work with now for those remaining 10 games.
Well, what they've got to do in defence, they've got to lock on the ball, as I've been saying. They've got to get the numbers in which they were doing for the first 5 or 10 minutes, and then when they can control the ruck, then that stops the momentum of the forwards, of the Bradford forwards, and then the half-backs playing on the back of it. With the ball in hand, they need to get some field position, but then they need to make a mark on the game with some smart players, and need to come up with some options. And they've had a couple of opportunities, created 3v2 options on the edges, but not utilised them. And that's the issue. That's the issue for Oldham, and you know, the coaches have to come up with them when they do decisions and then positives for the team to come out in the second half and do the job.
Well, welcome back here to Bower Fold. Bradford leading Oldham by 26 points to 0. John, what are your thoughts on that first half performance? We've been talking off air here while the viewers back at home have been treated to some of the action that's coming up in the Rugby League calendar. Fingers crossed, the Rugby League World Cup, that will start in October. Out come Oldham here. What needs to change in this second half, John?
Well, nothing for Bradford. 26-0 up, nothing needs to change. Carry on everything that you're doing. John Keir sent them out early. I think if we just noticed, they've been here about 3 or 4 minutes while waiting for Oldham to come out. Oldham are just coming out now. So on the Bradford side, you don't need to change anything. Keep going, everything's fine. All rosy in the garden, as they say. 4 tries and a penalty goal, 26-0. For Oldham, they've got to stop the middle guys of the Bradford controlling the ruck. They've got to latch onto the ball. They've got to hold on the ball. They've got to get numbers in the tackle. They've got to put them to floor and control that ruck. If they do that, when they've got the ball, they need to play the ball quicker, and then also set up the field positions, get some repeat sets if possible, and then on the back of that, they need to take their opportunities when they get them. Their half-backs and Dan Abram out the back, he did offer to come out the back a couple of times in the first half, but knocked the ball on. Need to be better.
Well, the referee just waiting for the touch judges to get into position here, and we're good to go here. So the start of the second half here on the Our League app this afternoon. Mick Gledhill, John Fieldhouse, your call team. Oldham have the slight benefit of the slope in this second half, and you can certainly see and feel already 2 tackles gone, much more purpose and venom in their proceedings and how they're going about it. But Bradford have built up a very strong lead, 26 points to 0, and they'll certainly be calling on all that experience of those players in the Oldham side who Previously, I've had spells at the Super League clubs, and they're going to look for a 40-20 early doors here from Lewis Charnock. Charnock had the power, not quite the direction there, and perhaps we are going to see a more competitive battling Oldham in the second half.
Well, that was smart. That was smart. That's what they need to do. They obviously complete your sets, get to the kick. If you can possibly get a kick, a 40-20 in, and get a repeat set, that's what you need. But that's what you need to build. Pressure. That's just like Bradford did in the first half.
So Bradford leading by 26 points to 0 here at Bowerfold at the start of this second half as George Flanagan goes on a little bit of a mazy run, decides to take the tackle there. Good Oldham defence here at the start of this second half here from Luke Nelms. Also Danny Bridge involved in that two-man tackle. Here goes Liam Bent, bringing down Tom Doyle. Here goes Ant Walker, the express train. Down the middle, lovely inside ball to Pickersgill. Pickersgill takes an ankle tap. And Bradford on the last tackle here, right in front of the Oldham post at the start of this second half. Goes to Keys. Once again, testing the Oldham defence on the edges. And I think they've pinpointed young Joe Hartley, one of the former Waterhead juniors, over on that left-hand edge. But he did exceptionally well under that kick chase pressure. And with D. Foggy Johnson still off the field with that first half injury, Ross Oakes out there over on the wing. So not since the under 16 and under 18 days has Ross Oakes been out there on the wing, but he's certainly enjoying his spell out there this afternoon as Oldham come down the middle here. That is Jamie Abram on that last tackle now. Charnock kicks into space, bounce of the ball trapped up there by Pickersgill. How good's that kick chase here? Oldham will be looking for a good defensive set. They'll get a good defensive set. Liam Bent wraps Pickersgill up just outside his own 10-metre line. Yeah,
smart play again. That's what they need to do. Just keep pumping it down there. Now, Bradford have come up with the error on their own 20-metre line, and now we're that key kicking game. They've just started in the first 3 or 4 minutes. Now it's paid dividends.
Yeah, the referee's going to say the error, and then the player in the offside position. So a penalty to Oldham right at the start of this second half here. We've had 42 minutes gone. Penalty count now 6-2 in favour of the Roughheads. And it's Oldham. Well, we mentioned last time between these two sides. And now back-to-back penalties right in front of the Bradford post. Referee Brad Milligan for a dangerous tackle, he says. Tyler Dupree just lifted ever so slightly above the horizontal is the call from match referee Brad Milligan. Is this the moment Oldham get their first points of the afternoon? Abram out of dummy half, twisting, turning. Ant Walker does well. Oldham have got the ball down, have they? The referee looks and says, no, still in the field of play. Liam Bent, inches from that Bradford try line. It goes to Charnock. Charnock drops the shoulder. Can't get past Pickersgill and Rooks. Bradford defending like their lives depend upon it here. They want to keep the scoreboard on 0 as Tyler Dupree, has he got that ball down? Held up on the Bradford line. That's the 4th tackle gone here. And Tyler Dupree has got his body entangled with Brandon Pickersgill. The two players will separate. Oldham come on this left-hand edge here. Barron takes the line on. Reece Evans alert to the danger. And Oldham on that 5th and last tackle here. Out of dummy half from Abram. Wrong option, you feel. Abram went for the glory there. Bradford's defence on point, and it remains 26-0.
Yeah, another missed opportunity on the right-hand edge there when Joe Keys came flying out the line. Massive opportunity to get the ball to the right edge. 3 players on that side, and we couldn't get the ball away. So Oldham, another missed opportunity. They cannot keep doing this.
Well, Bradford, they're going to move the ball back down the middle channel here. Interesting scoreline earlier at the Shea. Halifax 14, Whitehaven 4. That shows you just how tough it'll be next week for Halifax, as Oldham will end up going to Whitehaven after that week off. Here goes Evan Skur. He goes down that middle channel, does Evan Skur. Takes the 3 Oldham players with him, and he's brought down in a good field position. Joe Keys is going to kick early. Once again, Hartley under immense pressure. Hartley juggles the ball into the Bradford player, and Oldham have come up with an error there. And Joe Keys, once again, that kick in, John, causing Oldham no end of problems.
It's winning Bradford. So many good field positions, so much pressure. He's playing outstanding. 2 tries as well, one off the left, one off his right foot, just stepping through. And his kicking game is tremendous. The Oldham back 3, unfortunately, are not sure what day it is at the moment.
Well, an early chance here at the start of the second half here for the Bradford Bulls to perhaps get some early points here at the start of the second half. John Keir will be delighted with how things are going thus far. But here come Bradford down the middle here with Tom Doyle. Tom Doyle wrapped up 5 metres out, right underneath the posts. As Bradford hunt that 5th try, but that's good defence there from Oldham. George Flanagan is claiming the try, but he's been held up there as George Flanagan. And the referee will say, George, despite your protests, the ball's short. You've got to go back to the 10.
Do as you're told, be a good boy.
Well, he's just done that as George. Very nearly a try there to Bradford. The pressure still going on here. Last tackle for Bradford. Keys drops the shoulder. It's a hat-trick for Joe Keys. And Joe Keys, on his 2nd game back for the Bradford Bulls, he is bringing much-needed fluency into the Bulls' attack. He has 3 tries this afternoon, and it is Bradford 30, Oldham 0.
Well, you've got to get off your line, but certainly somebody's got to nominate the half-back. They're just non-existent there, the Oldham defence. And Joe Keys, he's just having the ball, he's having a day out. Fantastic play.
That come from that error from Joe Hartley. It was like a lost lamb, put under a lot of pressure there from that kick chase. Rhys Evans, Ross Oakes, all bearing down on him. That was the play that gave Bradford that repeat set of 6 inside that Oldham 20-metre line. And without being too cruel to Oldham here, Joe Keys making that look far too easy there.
I think that's the difference making this game. You know, when you think about the opportunities Oldham have had, every time they've got into the Bradford 20, and it's not been many, but you know, 4 or 5 times that they haven't built any pressure. They've never got there and had a repeat set, and they've never looked like scoring, to be truthful. But Bradford, as soon as they get a repeat set, you know what's coming, and it's points.
Joe Keys then looking to maintain his 100% record with the boot, which he does. Oldham 0, Bradford 32. So 48 minutes gone in this game here, 8 minutes after the restart. Oldham went incredibly close, with Jamie Abram being denied from short range. And certainly you almost suspected that set there, John, that had to be the one that Oldham scored from.
Yeah, and why not, you know, put a kick in on your last play there, or even kick early and put the ball behind the line, get a repeat set, and then you can build some pressure, and then you've got a massive opportunity to score a try. But when you turn the ball over and then you can't defend the set that's coming at you, then you give a penalty, then you give a knock, then you knock on from the kick, and then you ultimately pay the price with a try.
Well, we're back underway here. Oldham 0, Bradford 32. A hat-trick to Joe Keys. That is going to make and write the headlines. As Flanagan out of dummy half now. Ant Walker once again charging down the middle. And you said, John, at half-time you spoke to Ant Walker before the game. As Joe Keys looks for a 40-20 here. Yeah. That one is going into touch. Oldham racing back. Holcroft does well to turn that one into a positive. Oldham did not want that going out for a 40-20, but you spoke to Ant Walker before the game, John, as Oldham have lost the ball again. Hold on a second. Bradford are going to shift it over on that left-hand edge. It goes to Aaron Murphy. Murphy beats one, and he's brought down 10 metres out. Bradford looking for back-to-back tries here. And there's the man, Ant Walker, the Welsh international. He'll be looking for a place in John Keir's squad for that World Cup in October and November. Joe Keys takes the line on again. 5 metres out now. Good field position here from the Bradford Bulls. Oldham, you feel, the architects of their own downfall here this afternoon, with the amount of errors that they have coughed possession up and handed to the Bulls. Here goes Eben Sker now. Head down. Strong tilt towards the Oldham line. Quick play the ball here. Oldham have numbers on that right-hand side as Joe Brown crosses. And Joe Brown, he will score Bradford's 7th try of the afternoon here. And it does go from bad to worse for Oldham.
Yeah, you know, Dan Abrams fetching the ball out. He drops the ball on his own 20. And then you just know that Bradford are going to make them pay. And they made pay the price there. Joe Brown, Joe Keys, it's a Aberjoe day, I think. They just every time they get near the line, they're getting an opportunity, they're taking it. And this is going to get quite ugly for Oldham.
Well, Oldham, 7 consecutive defeats, staring down an 8th here, despite the arrival of Bryant McDermott. And I think when we spoke earlier on pre-match to both Chris Hamilton and Brendan Sheridan, he's only been here 3 training sessions. Chris Hamilton said, and to quote Chris Hamilton, he said it would be a lovely rugby league fairy tale if we could get off to a running start here, but you know, these things are going to take time. Yeah,
absolutely, yeah. Three sessions is nothing. You know, you can't change anything in 3 sessions. I think talking to Chris Hamilton, he just said Brian was talking to the players mainly about their own mentality, their own confidence, their own belief in themselves, the belief in the team. You know, can they get themselves out of this quagmire? Can they put themselves in a position where they can stay in championship? And that's basically what Brian's been talking about and asking the players the questions. Obviously, they've not come up with the answers today at the moment, but when you look at the quality that Bradford have got in the team, that's the difference.
Well, like jeers from the 300 or so Bull supporters behind the post there, Joe Keys has missed his first conversion attempt of the afternoon, and the scoreboard says Oldham 0, Bradford 36. So Joe Brown, a try scorer last week against Batley. He now has 8 tries for the season. He is Bradford's leading try scorer this term. And the referee is just making sure Liam Kirk over on the far stand side, well, he's taken the top off in disgust. I'm not quite sure, John, what's gone on there, but...
you don't like the dirty jersey, I don't think.
Well, Liam Kirk...
He's got a clean one now.
Yeah, he's got a clean jersey on.
He's happy, smiling.
Liam Kirk, the former Bradford man, had 6 great years at the Bulls, coming through the academy, played a part in that big win against Leeds a couple of years ago. And there we go, they're now struggling to unwrap and unpack the jersey. So he started off with number 17, he's now got 35 on. And Oldham now, can they get the ball back from the kick-off? Well, very nearly they did. And I think they have done, because Brandon Pickersgill absolutely flattened there from Danny Bridge. That was magic there from Oldham. Who would be a fullback when you've got Danny Bridge bearing down on you, the former Warrington, Featherstone, Rochdale man?
Great kick-off, great tackle. Opportunity, will they take it?
Oh, there's a chance here then. We said 5 Oldham players, former Bradford players. Danny Bridge, just one of those 5. Spell at the Bulls back in 2014 under Francis Cummings. Here come Oldham. Danny Bridge, can he reach out and score? He's inches shy of the line, the former Bradford man. And he'll get to his feet, he'll play the ball. Barron now. Along the line it goes with Langtry. Chancing at the corner. Oldham have their first points of the afternoon. Ben Holcroft with his first try of the season for Oldham. Bowerfold erupts. Is this the start of a comeback?
Well, yeah, that comes from a really positive kick-off. Fantastic tackle by Danny Bridge, and then obviously getting the start on the 20-metre line of the Bradford's half. But the opportunity in the first half arose, and they didn't take it. This time, they've taken the opportunity, and they put the ball into the right player's hands on this left-hand side. So it's a great try by Oldham, but I can't say that they're going to come back from 36.
Dan Abram, he wants to get the conversion attempt quickly taken here. There's still 25 minutes to go in this game. And the former Rochdale Barrow, Whitehaven, St Helens, utility back, pushes it to the left-hand side of the post. Oldham 4, Bradford 36 here. But that will please Brian McDermott, Chris Hamilton, Brendan Sheridan, because at least Oldham, they have shown some fight there, John.
Yeah, showed a bit of bite in the defence, just what they needed. Danny Bridges led the way there, and then on the back of it, they've got something for their efforts and obviously the desire. So at the end of the day now, they've got a good 23 minutes to pull some more points, and then they've got some belief then to go into the next game.
Liam Kirk on the restart. Oldham 4, Bradford 36 here. Oldham back on that restart now, going down the slope. Tyler Dupree has lost the ball. He was trying to force the ball there. Why, oh why, would you try and force the ball there, John? He holds his hand up, and I know you're playing the scoreboard and the clock, but that's now going to invite Bradford a full set of 6, 30 metres out from the Oldham line.
No, you can't do that. You've got to complete your set. After every time you score, there's always got to be a bit of a down period. The down period is complete your set, get to the other end of the field, and then on the back of that, put a good defensive set in, and then hopefully you get some good ball on the back of it, and then start to attack again. You're not in good shape to attack from your own 20. You've not got the belief, you've not got the confidence to attack from your own 20. You've not had it for nearly 60 minutes, so why would you do it with 20 minutes to go?
Oldham's 13th error of this game here. That will be the worrying statistic for head coach Brian McDermott and assistant Brendan Sheridan here, as Bradford go down the middle now with Eben Skur. The 10 metres out inside that Oldham red zone here, as it goes to Keys, to Rooks. Adam Rooks has a strong tilt of the line. Dupree comes in and wraps him up. Flanagan, very sloppy, messy ruck there from the Bulls. And Flanagan was trying to fire that into either the arms of Joe Brown or Eben Skur. And, John Keir, well, he'll be a bit disappointed that Bradford conceded that try to young Ben Holcroft. A little bit more disappointing with that lack of cohesion in good field position there.
Just trying to come up with a magic play there, and it's not happening.
Penalty to Oldham. Joe Brown knocked back the 10. So chance here for Oldham. I tell you what, John, I don't want to sound delusional, but Oldham get a try here. This is game back on.
Yeah, they're having a dig now. They're having a dig for the new coach. They're having a dig for Brendan Sheridan, the current assistant coach, and they're having a dig for themselves. But there's nothing else they can do now. They just needed in that first half to hold on to Bradford's coattails, and they didn't manage to do that. Now they've got to make a bit of a show.
Lovely ball there from Charnock to Bridge. Danny Bridge, quick play the ball. Oldham inside the Bradford 10 here, as it goes with Martin Riley. His 11th appearance of the season here. And Martin Riley is going to be brought down there. 5 metres out now. Charnock, Marshall in the forwards. Lovely ball to Barron. Barron, that's been knocked on by Joe Brown. The referee says play on here.
No, never.
Oh, no, he's got the call from the touch judge. He got the call from the touch judge, John.
Yeah.
Oh, he's given a penalty now to Bradford. Well, I'm not sure what's gone on there, John.
Well,
I think he's going to say that Joe Brown didn't get fingertips to it, and then the Oldham have stolen the ball.
Yeah, and I'm very disappointed because I'm just watching on the pitch there when Oldham were attacking, and on the right-hand side, Aaron Murphy has gone down injured, and they had 2 defenders, Bradford, on the left-hand side, Oldham's right. Danny Bridge was shouting for the ball with 3 players outside of him. It was a 4v3, 4v2 opportunity, and the ball came this way to the left, and Bradford had more numbers than Oldham had attackers. That's the kind of play, that's the kind of message that Brian McDermott needs to get to the Oldham team. You've got to look for opportunities, but you've got to take them when you're in that position, and that's what they've not done this afternoon.
Yeah, Aaron Murphy leaves the field. Looks a little bit groggily there. Perhaps a precaution by John Keir. Steve Crossley back out there. He's the Bradford captain. He's one of the huge cogs in the Bradford wheel that drives them forward. So Oldham might feel a little bit unlucky that they didn't get the rub of the decision there, but Bradford 30 metres out now from that Oldham try line. 36 points to 4 their lead here, with 20 minutes remaining as Dan Fleming is wrapped up. Good defence from Oldham here. Flanagan. Now it goes to Joe Keys. Joe Keys taking that line on. Well, Joe Keys is only just going to impress and grow with each passing moment as the confidence levels improve. As Eben Skur now wrapped up on the last tackle. Keys is calling for the ball. They're looking to send in Evans and Hamlet on this main stand side. Perfectly weighted. Might come down for Brown. Brown takes it, offloads the ball behind him. Evans has it. It's still the last tackle. Evans to Hamlet. Hamlet towards the Oldham line. Hamlet, can he get the ball down? He's offloaded the ball after the tackle. Good scrambling defence there from Oldham. And it was Max Roberts who wrapped up the former Rochdale Mayfield player, Reece Hamlet there, right on top of the Oldham line.
Yeah, dogged defence, great scramble by Oldham, but as I say, it's probably a little too late now, but they're putting a shift in now in the last 20 minutes, and they can take this, all the positives from the last 20 minutes, you can take it forward to the next game against Whitehaven.
Yeah, they'll be looking for a strong final 20 minutes to this game here as we see Ryan Ince run lateral over on the far stand side there. Very quick play of the ball. Second half did start in slight disappointment with those 2 tries from Joe Keys and Joe Brown, but since then Oldham enjoying good spell of possession here, and pressure from this kick from Lewis Charnock. Pickersgill's knocked it on. Ball is live. Oldham kicked the ball into touch. First error from Brandon Pickersgill, and Lewis Charnock, one of the 5 former Bradford players in this Oldham side, he has earned Oldham a repeat set of 6.
Well, you'll never have a better chance. There's 2 players running the ball down. Pickersgill knocks it on. One of them, he needs to talk to the other and say, your ball. You could even pick it up, pass it on, go and score the try. 6 points posted. Opportunity missed. Huge
opportunity there. If Ben Holcroft picks that ball up, he's in at the corner. Instead he kicked it into touch, but it happened in the moment, a blink of an eye. Oldham though underneath the post here now. Briley, that's down, and Martin Riley, the posts are shaking. Oldham have 2 tries in quick succession here, and the Oldham fans, well, there's just over 16 minutes left here, John. Is this the Oldham fight back?
It is an Oldham fight back, but they're not going to get more than 36 points. Yeah, definitely. They deserve that. They deserved it for their efforts. Great kick by Dougie Charnock, and obviously they should have scored on the back of the kick, but they didn't. But they on the back of the repeat set from the kick, which was a real positive. They managed to score. But yeah, we've got to keep going now on these last 15, 13 minutes, whatever's left. They can post more points. As I said, they can take it all forward into the next game. Loads of confidence, loads of belief. It just goes to show what you can do when you put your minds to it.
Well, Martin Riley there, his 3rd try of the season for Oldham, the former Dewsbury, Halifax and South Walesman. He will enjoy that one, and has that given Oldham a little bit of a lifeline here? There's still time on the clock, but the scoreboard might be just a little bit too much for Oldham to overcome. But Dan Abram has added the conversion. It's Oldham 10, Bradford 36 here. Joe Keys with the restart. This is probably, John, where Bradford just have to roll the sleeves up and just do a little bit of a dogged bit of work here as Brad England tries to steal the ball. But I tell you what, this response, certainly in the last 5-6 minutes from Oldham, that will give Brian McDermott a bit of confidence, knowing that there's still the fight in his Oldham side, as we see Tyler Dupree offload the ball here to Holcroft, looking to keep it going. Hang on a second, Oldham have got their second wind here. Out of dummy half goes Jamie Abram, down the middle, penalty because Steve Crossley has caught Dan Abram high above the shoulder. And hang on a second here, John, there could be a chance here for Oldham, who could go back to back.
Yeah, and the beauty of this now is, obviously we've got a stoppage, but the beauty of this is it's 10 apiece in the second half. So obviously Oldham are looking to win this second half, and maybe that was the message from Brian McDermott at half-time. Boys, you know, we're 26-0 down. Let's go out. Let's give it our all. Let's put 40 minutes effort and performance in. We'll take it to the next game. And if you can win the half, then we can start to believe that we can actually do something in the final 9 games after this.
James Barron made his debut in that Challenge Cup win over Barrow here. Finds touch. And Oldham now looking for 3 tries back-to-back here. There might be consolation scores come the 80th minute, but at this moment in time, Oldham genuinely are playing and feeling as if they can get something from this game. There's still time in this one, but you almost suspect they have to score again here. Charnock along the line to Abram. Abram keeps it going. Ince wrapped up there by Keys. And Ince is being dragged into touch here, and Ince has gone into touch. That is fantastic defence, and look what it means to the Bradford Bulls. George Flanagan, applause and high fives Adam Rooks and Joe Keys, and there was just no stopping that Bradford Bulls defensive momentum there, John.
Inexperience. That was total inexperience of Oldham. You know, they've gone from one side of the field to the other, and we're offloading the ball. No need to offload the ball. Go down, play it quickly, come back to the middle, and then size your opportunity up, which way you're going, left or right. Worst Bradford got least defenders. You know, very poor play, to be truthful, and that's where the naivety comes in.
And after Oldham have staged that slight mini fight back, that will please John Keir. That defence much improved. And Oldham now, they have to get the ball back as Bradford come back up the slope here at Bowerfold, the home of Stalybridge Celtic, as Eben Skur is wrapped up there by Tyler Dupree on the halfway line. Oldham have just given away another 6 again here now as Brad England crashes onto that ball, and Dupree goes straight for the ankles of Brad England, and it's another 6 again. So Bradford, the tackle count is back at 0 with Brandon Pickersgill 18 metres out from that Oldham line. Well, another try here to Bradford would almost certainly kill this game off as a contest if it's not already over here. But Bradford, as we say, they're looking to capitalise on some sloppiness around the ruck for Oldham. Brown now to Pickersgill. Evans is in! Rhys Evans! That's his first try in 732 days. What a moment for Rhys Evans! It's only his 5th try in the red, amber and black, but just like brother Ben last week, Rhys Evans has hit Bradford, and they're now at 40 points. What a moment there for the Welsh international Rhys Evans. 732 days after he last crossed the line for the Bradford Bulls back in 2019. He will enjoy that one.
Is it his birthday, Mick? No, well done. Great play.
I only worked out how many days it was because last week his twin brother Ben, who plays in the pack, when I interviewed him after the game, he said, well, Rhys hasn't scored. He's going to be on the nude run.
No, well, he's got off that now. Yeah, it was smart play. But when you say, same again, Oldham, naivety when they were attacking, made the extra pass they didn't need to, ended up in touch, give the ball away. Bradford come from their own 20-metre line, back-to-back sets, 2 restarts and a try. It happens every time, and Oldham have got to learn the lesson.
Joe Keys will attempt this conversion attempt then. Will this be another 2 points? Yes, it will. Oldham 10, Bradford 42. And how good is that? Danny Bruff's out there with the yellow trainer bib on. Is this said to Joe? Congratulations, great kick.
No, superb, yeah. Obviously, you know, smart players. But Joe Keys has been absolutely fantastic for Bradford today, and everybody else on the Bradford time. They had a little blip where Oldham's come back into it. Oldham have got to fight back now and try and get 6 points, but not like that though.
Well, another penalty. That one's gone out on the full this time. Well, I'm struggling to keep up, John, with the amount of 6 agains and penalties, but Bradford, that's their 6th penalty of the afternoon. Oldham have had 8. And on the 6 agains, Oldham 3 6 agains, Bradford 5. And that's probably not right, you say, what Lewis Charnock should have been thinking there. Fine margin, only just over that dead ball line, but look where it's got Oldham now. The back defending inside their own 20-metre line. That kick out on the full. Joe Keys down the middle here. Inside support from Steve Crossley. Crossley's brought down underneath the Oldham post. Flanagan's in there at dummy half. It goes towards Dan Fleming. Fleming's rolled over by Tyler Dupree. Oldham looking for a response here after that try to Rhys Evans. Well, Rhys Evans is queuing up. Is he going to get another? No, he's not. Brandon Pickersgill will take the line on, and Brandon Pickersgill, he has his second try of the afternoon. Bradford's 8th, and here at Bowerfold, it is Oldham 10, Bradford 46.
Yeah, smart play there. Coming from the left-hand side, doubling up. Joe Brown coming round, wrapping round, and then Brandon Pickersgill. Pick your line. Tell me where you want the ball. Joe Brown gives him an early ball. He picks his line, just too much pace, and he scores 20 metres or 15 metres, in from touch. Smart play, great try.
Well, Brandon Pickersgill trying the first half, trying the second half, now has 6 tries for the season. He's one of those homegrown players in the side this afternoon, alongside players like Joe Brown, Ross Oakes, Tom Doyle, Steve Crossley, George Flanagan, Eben Skirt.
If you look at the 8 tries, Mick, that Bradford have scored, every one is on the back of a repeat set or a penalty. And if that's not a lesson on how to play rugby league, I don't know what is. Because, Bradford have just made them pay.
Joe Keys once again. Danny Brough watching on. The supporters behind the post. They're going to try and suck this ball over. This for another 2 points. Joe Keys just does that. The ring and cries of Keys ringing and reverberating around Bowerfold. Oldham 10, Bradford 48. And in about 5 minutes' time, John will ask you to name your Our League man of the match.
Yeah, no problem with that, Mick. There's been some great contenders, Brandon Pickersgill and obviously Joe Brown, Joe Keys. They've been fantastic, them 3 at the back.
Rhys Hamlet does well. The youngster back out there. Another penalty given here by the referee. High tackle. Well, it's been one of those games, John, a little bit scrappy with the amount of penalties and 6 against, but, credit to Bradford, they've not allowed that to be a distraction at all.
Yeah, obviously they've given their own penalties and indiscretions themselves, but like I say, Oldham are not helping themselves, and 48 points doesn't lie, does it?
Well, it's going to be Bradford's biggest win of the season, and what a big win this could be. Especially with a week off next week, to allow everybody to recharge the batteries and regroup before that mouthwater in round 14 tie against Featherstone Rovers, who will be, come win or lose, coming off the back of the 1895 Cup final at Wembley, which takes place a week on Saturday. Here goes George Flanagan out of dummy half. It goes to England. Brad England's in, and Bradford have 50 points because it's Oldham 10, Bradford 52. Brad England showing some of that natural raw aggression to just wrestle past Dan Abram, and that's Bradford's 9th try of the afternoon.
Yeah, parting of the waves now, unfortunately for Oldham, with minutes to go. There's just gaps everywhere in the defence. And this end, the lesson is penalty, try, repeat set, try. How many times, guys, do you need telling the Oldham players you must learn your lessons? You cannot keep giving repeat sets and penalties, because every time you do, you're losing territory and obviously the opportunity for the opposition to score. And Bradford have just been so clinical, it's untrue.
That is certainly going to be the most pleasing aspect of this performance for John Keir. Very clinical with ball in hand, 9 tries, biggest result of the season. Joe Keys from just to the right hand side of the post. A kicker of his quality. This should be a formality, which it is. Oldham 10, Bradford 54. We've got 5 minutes remaining here, John. Who is your Our League man of the match and why?
Well, as I said before, Brandon Pickersgill and Joe Brown have been smart in the backs. The forwards, wow, You know, Aaron Murphy and Brad England in the back row. They've been smart, been running good lines. Ben Evans, Dan Fleming, Steve Crossley, Ant Walker, you know, Eben Skur. They've been fantastic down the middle of the field. But the key to it all is Joe Keys.
Joe Keys then, our league man of the match. Well, I keep saying this about Joe Keys, but I look at him, John, and I keep thinking like he's like something out of the Bible. He just looks like a biblical figure. He's got the long shaggy hair, he's got the beard, but Joe Keys...
He looks a bit like my bin man.
I'm sure he won't thank you for that, but certainly Joe Keys given the man of the match this afternoon, and here he is again, giving the ball to Pickersgill before Brandon Pickersgill fires the ball into touch, looking to send Ross Oakes away down the line. So Joe Keys given the man of the match this afternoon, and I don't think few would disagree with that. A hat-trick of tries, a very near immaculate goal-kicking record, 8 from 9 attempts this afternoon. And Oldham, well, they're going to have one last chance here because we're into the final few moments here of the game, and they will have a fresh set of 6 here. And it's now, John, all about finishing the game on a high, perhaps getting a third try of the afternoon. Oldham, they're going to have the week off. That'll give Brian McDermott, Brendan Sheridan more time with the team, as we say. I guess ultimately it was not all about Oldham beating Bradford here this afternoon to survive. It's all about picking up wins against those sides around you. It's looking like York are going to suffer another defeat against London. So York are very much firmly embattled in a relegation battle alongside Sheffield and Swinton.
Yeah, Swinton and obviously Whitehaven if they're getting dragged into it as well. So, it's all to play for. I think most importantly today, I think Brian will have been looking at them with only 3 training sessions. He will be saying, right, which lads can lead us, which lads can mentally front up. Like today, you've got to stay positive. You cannot dwell on the negative. So he'll be thinking, well, okay, 54 points against us. We won't bother with the video. We don't bother with looking at what we did wrong. Let's look at what we did right. So that spell, just after half time, the 20 minutes, where it was 10 apiece on the second half, he'd be saying, boys, this is what you can do. This is what you can do against one of the best teams in Championship. But can you do it for 40 minutes? Then can you do it for 60? And then can you do it for 80? And if you do, you'll get the win. And you'll get the wins that'll keep you in the Championship.
Oldham now looking for a late consolation here. Sean Pick back out there on the field. Charnock out a dummy half. Riley, he's one of the 2 Oldham try scorers. Martin Riley wrapped up, wrestled backwards there by Dan Fleming. It's been another improved performance from the Bradford Bulls, as Oldham look to force the pass there, but Rhys Evans and Rhys Hamlet do well to wrap up the former Wigan youngster Max Roberts. Clever little kick through there for Dan Abram. Oldham will get a third try. Abram cleared onside, and it's Charnock's kick behind the Bradford Bulls defensive line, and it will see Dan Abram. Oldham, there's life yet in this Oldham side. Yeah,
and there's the try that, you know, they should have been doing earlier. They should have been looking at these pockets of space in the first half, but certainly in the second half when the scores were going against them, we should have been looking at the pockets of space between the line and the fullback Brandon Pickersgill, and they pulled it the last minute of the game, a bit too late. But there's a play that they can take forward into the next game against Whitehaven and utilise that play and make it work.
Bradford have Joe Keys down on their own try line here, just getting the all clear. Nothing too serious from Joe Keys. He'll leave the field here. Just a little bit of a limp on that left ankle, but he's been given the all clear from the physio, so that'll just be a precaution for John Keir. Dan Abram adds the extra 2 points from in front of the post. And here at Bowerfold, well, it's a bit of a points fest this afternoon. I must confess, John, when I came here, I wasn't quite sure how the game would unfold. I certainly didn't expect a scoreline like it has blown out here this afternoon, but it's Oldham 16 and it's Bradford 54.
Yeah, like you said, I was talking to Ant Walker before the game, and I did say to him, I said, if your forwards take control and win the floor, win the middle, I said your backs will just be too strong for them, and that's been the case. Joe Keys, Joe Brown, Brandon Pickersgill, opportunities galore, and they've taken them.
Well, from a Bradford point of view, job very well done. If you're going to focus on any negatives, and we know John Keir likes to look at the game and analyse it, well, might be a little bit disappointed with the 6 agains and the penalties that Bradford have conceded, and a couple of defensive lapses, but by and large, the positives are going to be all about that Bradford Bulls offence. Biggest score of the season. Although, just saying that, Bradford have conceded another 6 again here as Ross Oakes tries to pinch the ball out of the arms there of Joe Hartley, but Hartley head down. He's dealt with some adversity in the air, and here goes Lewis Charnock. Well, we're into time added on here at the end of the first half here. The referee's going to, the second half. The referee will stop the clock here. An Oldham player just down there receiving a little bit of treatment in the final seconds of this game here.
I think he just slightly twisted as he was going down there, and yeah, it looks like his ankle.
And the challenge has to be for Brian McDermott, John, and you've surmised it, you know, very eloquently this afternoon. Is from an Oldham perspective, you can't turn it on and turn it off in patches. It has to be there for the full 80 minutes.
Yeah, definitely, and that's how you build it. They put a shift in today. I would say their best shift was the third quarter. So if you want to break it into quarters, our third quarter, let's do some video on that. How good were we in that third quarter? Right, let's build. So if we start in the first 20 when we play Whitehaven and then build, if we can take it to 40 minutes, let's build. Let's take it to 60 and then we build. And then hopefully we'll get a win.
Well, Oldham know this could be their last set of 6 of this afternoon's game here. Well, if they could get a 4th try, that would give them some confidence ahead of that difficult assignment in the next round against Whitehaven. They're keeping the ball going here, but Tyler Dupree, despite that lovely offload out the tackle from Luke Nelms, Tyler Dupree just knocking the ball on there, and Tyler Dupree holds his hand up, and Bradford now will close out this game with a set of 6 from outside their own 20-metre line. So the Our League man of the match, Joe Keys, he's gone off the field. He's got a bit of ice on that left knee, ankle area. You might be able to see for those eagle-eyed watching on the stream. He's just been given a pat on the back by John Keir. Joe Keys has just put his thumb up and says he's okay, boss, as Bradford come down the middle here now with Adam Rooks. Just playing down the final few moments of this game this afternoon. Ant Walker brought down there by Charnock.
He's had a great game, hasn't he? You know, taking the middles on, and he's just gone like motorway down the middle.
Yeah, Ant Walker, just his 10th appearance of the season for the Bradford Bulls. He's only going to get better. And when you think about some of the other players currently missing, Danny Brough, Jordan Lilly, Matty Dawson-Jones, Levi Nzongu, Elliot Keir, all those players are going to be coming back around the playoff time.
Is that Bradford's second team?
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, John. They've had to deal with a heck of a lot of adversity. Pickersgill, last tackle, high kick. Abram takes it on the full. Fantastic take there from Dan Abram. And I tell you what, there's still some skill and quality out there from Oldham as Hartley now. Well, he wins the penalty. And to be fair, Tom Doyle and Dan Fleming hold the hands up here because young Hartley, well, you've got to be a brave man to charge the ball in like that against Dan Fleming and Steve Crossley.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. And when Doyle's going full throttle, anything can happen. But, yeah, the game's over now. It's won by Bradford. It's been a smart performance. John Keir will be very happy. Brian McDermott, obviously, chatting now, obviously, to Chris Hamilton, can see over the other side there. As they'll be saying, well, how can we do it? How are we going to build it? And they've got a fortnight now, which they can add some more training sessions. They can do a bit more work, teamwork, and try and build for that Whitehaven game, because Whitehaven will be very tough. And I know, as I said before, Gary Charlton, the coach, he's desperately looking to keep Whitehaven in the championship, and he'll desperately want the win, and they don't like getting beat at home, that's for sure.
Tom Doyle has been sent to the sin bin on the back of Oldham's 9th penalty. That is for the high tackle, so Tom Doyle becomes the 6th Bradford player of the season to be shown a yellow card. So Tom Doyle, he'll play no further part in proceedings here. We're into time added on at the end of this game here. Bradford leading Oldham by 54 points to 16. Oldham coming back down the slope here after that penalty. So late invitation from that Bradford Bulls ill discipline. And I'm guessing that might just be one of the aspects that John Keir wants to tidy up. As Martin Riley goes towards the Bradford line, is brought down there by Ben Evans. A metre out, right on top of that Bradford line here. Charnock to Dupree. Dupree, can he get the ball down? Ross Oates comes in. So too Dan Fleming. But Tyler Dupree, he has got the ball down. Listen to the cheers from the Oldham faithful. It's a 4th try for Oldham. And the deficit is narrowed. Further still, it's Oldham 20, Bradford 54.
Well, there you go, another positive. Yeah, you really think about it. You know, you can do it. They can do it. They can build pressure and they can score tries, but they just have to get rid of all those negative things that they've shown today. But that will please Brian McDermott, please Chris Hamilton, and obviously the guys themselves. Let's take it forward. And that's just what they need to do.
Oh, when you look at the second half, it's now 30 points to 20. Abram, 30 points to 22 in the second half.
Yeah. No, it's been a great effort. And as I say, you know, Brian McDermott will have asked for that effort, and he certainly got it in loads today. So take it forward, boys. Believe, and get the confidence that you can save your season and keep yourself in the championship.
Well, there's no official clock here, but we're into the 4th minute of added on time at the end of this game. Oldham 22, Bradford 54. Tries in the second half from Holcroft, Riley, Abram, and now Tyler Dupree. Well, we've had a bit of a points fest, a bit of a try fest. It's been a lovely afternoon here in Staley Bridge. As Oldham, they're still battling right to the end here. Bradford, of course, down to 12 men with Tom Doyle in the sin bin. As we're going to see Lewis Charnock give the ball to Nelms, Flanagan and Crossley, the 2 Bradford defenders. They're going to look for an early 40-20 here. Barron, that one's just going to go down towards Pickersgill. The accuracy sadly lacking. And now Brandon Pickersgill will move the ball out from his own 20-metre line. And he's brought down 25 metres out from his own line. As the hooter sounds here. Full time here at Bowerfold. Oldham 22, Bradford 54. Brian McDermott's first game back in charge as the consultant coach of Oldham ends in defeat. Bradford, their biggest defeat of the season. 9 tries and 54 points. Credit to Oldham, John, because the second half, 30 points to 22, a much tighter affair.
Yeah, never give in, and that's what the Oldham faithful will be saying. Don't give in, keep going to the 80, 81, 82, 83 minutes, whatever it takes. And they've just done that today. 9 tries to 4. It's been Bradford's day, absolutely outstanding. John Keir will be thoroughly happy with everything that they've produced and performed. But Oldham, you've just got to believe. You've got to believe that you can get out, because there is teams in that level in the Championship, the bottom half of the league, that are not as good and clinical as Bradford Northern are.
Well, handshakes are plenty here at full time. The Bulls players, they will go to the travelling supporters that have come here in this near sellout crowd this afternoon. Bradford, as we say, they get the week off, as do Oldham. Oldham have the trip up the M6 to West Cumbria, as it is for the Bulls. They have the week off before another battle royal, Bradford Featherstone. That could be one of the games of the season as well. Yeah,
I think it will be as well. I think Featherstone are going absolutely brilliant at the moment, and some of the tries and the players that they're putting on, I think, was it Featherstone 44-0? 44-0. That's a statement, Mick, to make. I don't think it'll be that in the next meeting, but it just goes to show that when Bradford can put 54 on Oldham, you look at the difference in the league and the teams, and at the end of the day, it's a massive statement that Bradford have done today. But what a game that's going to be.
Well, let's just recap what's happened elsewhere in the Betfred Championship before we wrap things up here at Stalybridge. Celtic's Bowerfold ground here. It full time in the 1 o'clock kickoff. It was Halifax 14, Whitehaven 4. It was Bartley 12, Toulouse 32. So Toulouse meant to work hard there at Mount Pleasant. Look at this for a scoreline. London Broncos 50, the York City Knights 20. What on earth is going on at the York City Knights? Another defeat there for James Ford.
Well, I have noticed, Mick, that they're getting players in by the bucket loads. I think they're ferrying them in. They're not just bringing them in. Just seems to be changes. I don't know what's going on at all, but I'm sure James Ford will be very despondent.
York, of course, hosts Featherstone in the 1895 Cup next Saturday at Wembley Stadium. Newcastle Thunder 24, Dewsbury 12. That probably now moves Newcastle closer to the playoff places than the relegation spots. Dewsbury, of course, drew with Sheffield last week. They're now going back, and when you look at these sides here, Sheffield have beat Swinton by 30 points to 22, and Widnes 10, Featherstone 32. So Featherstone and James Webster warming up for Wembley with a big result on the road against a very tough Widnes side. But when you're looking at the table now and it's shaping up, Swinton, after their 13 games, they are winless. You've then got Oldham, but it's those sides above now, because with the York City Knights losing more ground, you look at the percentages here, York are down to 30%, you've got Whitehaven on 34%, Dewsbury on 37%. Those are the sides that Oldham have to target, John.
All to play for, Mick, and as I say, every game is vital. Not only that, look at the points average. Those points that obviously Oldham have picked up today, the 22 points. If that would have been 54-0, then obviously it's a far worse defeat. You've got to obviously look at the average on the points as well as obviously your win percentages, because that could be key at some point.
Well, thank you very much for joining us here at Bowerfold this afternoon. A resounding result in the end for Bradford by 54 points to 22. Joe Keys given the Hour League man of the match. He had a personal haul of 26 points. That fluency in attack, no problems, no qualms for John Keir and the Bradford Bulls. They might be a little bit disappointed that they allowed Oldham to score those 4 tries in the second half, but Brian McDermott, he will now know, and final words, John, he will now know where the fight is in the side, which are the players that are mentally prepared for the battle ahead.
Well, the beauty of it, Mick, is he's put a team out today that scored 54 points. All them players that you mentioned before, they all got them to come back. They'll be chomping at the bit to get into that team that's just scored 54 points. What a brilliant position to be in as coach of Bradford Northern at this moment in Bradford Bulls. What a great position to be in as coach. It's going to be very interesting.
Well, John, it's been a pleasure to work with you this afternoon. Until our paths cross again, all the best, and very much the best of luck for Oldham and those remaining games that are left in this season, because after this game this afternoon, 9 rounds remain.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mick, and thanks for everybody listening and watching.
Thank you.